A hospital in Tanzania is using 3D printers to make artificial limbs, shortening a process that used to take weeks to just a few hours now. Researchers want to see if this technology can be scaled up to meet the needs of the millions of people living with a disability in Tanzania. Willie Laurie has the story from Dar es Salaam.
Today is a good day for Pendo James. The 15-year-old is walking without her crutches.
When I walk using a prosthesis, I can do anything. Where we live in Bagala, there are many hills, so with the crutches I can fall, get bruises and many problems. So when I walk with artificial leg, then I'm able to do whatever, so I'm very happy to have this prosthesis.
Pendo got the prosthesis for free as part of a pilot program at the CCBRT hospital in Dar es Salaam. The hospital partnered with Nia Technologies, a Canadian startup. The company installed the technology and trained local technicians to use the software.
And this is the iPad, which is implanted with the scanner. So we on it and we scan like we're taking video on a patient. And when you have the picture in here, we move it to the computer. The computer is installed with a certain program for modification or rectification. So after I've sent the work into this computer, then I modify it. If the patient maybe didn't have enough arch, we increase the arch by this application. So whenever I command to print, then the device that has been modified will be printed in the printers.
The technology's portability is a big advantage. Technicians like Ruth can travel to rural areas, scan a patient's stump, and then come back and print the leg at the hospital. When it's ready, they take it to the patient. But this is still just a pilot project, and some kinks need to be worked out.
The other challenge is electricity, power. If you're printing and the electricity went off, you'll have to restart afresh. Unless otherwise, but we're looking for the bigger UPS for power supply to support us during the cutoff of power. And the other thing is, it's a challenge because some clients really don't like the color, the white color.
Pendo doesn't care about the color. She's just happy to be able to walk and play with her friends. And she can pursue her dream of becoming a doctor.
I like physics, biology, chemistry because later in life I want to be a doctor, like Dr. Ruth here.
Nia Technologies has carried out similar studies of its 3D printing in Uganda. The goal is to make prosthetic devices affordable and accessible. Willie Laurie for VOA News in Dar es Salaam.
Africa's waters play an important role in food security. In Benue State, one of the country's major rivers is drying up, but farmers are appealing to the federal government to quickly dredge the river for the dry season farming. Well, Channels Television's correspondent Pius Ango compiled this next report.
Farmers participating in the 2017 dry season farming in Benue State are hoping for a bountiful harvest in a few months. But one thing that may stand in the way of that is inadequate water supply, because large parts of the River Benue, the major source of water, are drying up, leaving a shallow depth of flowing water. This poses a threat to dry season farming, a long-standing tradition in Benue State which aims to increase food production. The farmers are appealing to the federal government to prevent this by dredging the river.
We are going to provide irrigation channels to cover 500 hectares for the first phase of this project. But we have potential to expand up to 2,000 hectares. But the main problem is the source of water. The river is already seated up, so we need to, by God's grace, if there are funds available, to deepen the river basin with dredging.
The Benue farmers believe that when dredged, the river will also serve the dual purpose of irrigation and extracting material for the construction of the Agasha Fadama 3 Cluster Farm Road project.
They will require your support, Your Excellency, if it's possible, so that we can have enough water available here to support up to 2,000 hectares of dry season farming or more. We'll use the dredged sand to also elevate the access route so that the access route will be above the grade of the farm at which they are planting the rice. So that will make the tractors and other equipment to be able to access the road even during the rainy season.
The state governor promises to help in local irrigation projects and other forms of support.
I'm aware that contract was awarded for the dredging of this river, but for some obvious reason, it's no longer feasible. We are following up with the federal government to see how we can dredge, but at the local level, maybe the consultant will try to find other alternatives that can be done locally. The government can also come in to support.
Planting activities at the beginning of the year flagged off the dry season farming for Benue farmers who have 2,000 hectares of land to cultivate for rice and other crops and harvest in abundance provided they get access to enough water.
Well, you're watching Africa 54. I'm Vincent McCory in Washington. Now, in Kenya, most companies that offer home services like nanny or cleaning services still conduct most of their business over the phone. However, that may be changing, as it is for two companies that are now finding most of their business online. Lenny Rovaga reports from Nairobi.
This is Kisafi, a cleaning company located in Nairobi. Today, Janet Otieno, one of the founders, is leading a strategy meeting with her staff. There are dozens of similar companies across Kenya. What makes Kisafi unique is that it gets most of its business online. The cleaning service has an app which can be downloaded from the Google Play Store. Clients can also order service through a phone call, but Kisafi gets 80% of its business through the app. According to Otieno, the market has been receptive, but challenges do exist.
The main challenge is finding the right talent. In terms of partners, the pros also, because you need people who understand the technology aspect of it, and we also need people who can provide the best quality of services.
Today, Quinta Omondi makes her way to clean a client's home. Omondi earns around $150 per month, enough to sustain her family. Customers pay about $10 per day. Job Selelia, a repeat client, has nothing but praise for the service.
I can actually leave, go about my errands, and I can come back and have the confidence that my staff is going to be safe and the quality of their work is really superb. So that's the convenience that I get.
Another company that gets its business online is Mother Goose, a professional nanny service located in Ongata Rongai, 30 kilometers outside the capital. Today, caregivers are being taken through a class on infant wellness. To request a nanny, clients go online and fill out a form on the Mother Goose website. The company then follows up with a phone call. The nannies receive orientation at the client's home before they offer their services, which cost around $10 per day. Maureen Atieno sought a nanny from Mother Goose after facing several challenges in finding a perfect fit.
The baby had so many problems here and there, but now I can go to work perfectly without being interfered with where I am or wondering how the baby is there in the house. Yeah, I think I'm okay with her.
Analysts say Kenyan entrepreneurs can gain an advantage by using the internet to draw customers. Jim Nawaweru from Daystar University says that this new frontier has unique challenges.
Technology impacts entrepreneurs positively, by and large. That the more tech savvy you are, the higher the chances that your business will grow. That notwithstanding, we also have negatives, because there are people who use technology to do the wrong thing. Sometimes you advertise for things you don't have, or you overpromise, yet you cannot deliver.
Tech-savvy companies that show they can deliver, like Kisafi and Mother Goose, are doing just fine. Lenny Ruvaga for VOA News, Kileleshwa and Ongata Rongai, Kenya.
It's time now for a short break, but before we go, a reminder to visit our website, channelstv.com, for all the latest information around the clock. You can also find us on youtube.com/channelsweb. Still to come, The confusion arising from the temporary U.S. ban on immigration from some nations on the continent is also creating confusion for passengers of at least one African airline. Well, that story in a moment.